Hello, and welcome back to the studio. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we have an unboxing extravaganza. We have the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. We have the iPhone 16 in pink. We have the AirPods 2, which I'm just going to unbox, and we'll talk about them in a future video. And a Series 10 watch. Let's get going. Normally I tell you why I bought these things, but I did that last week in this video right here, where I talked about the announcements and everything and why I was buying the ones I was buying. I didn't tell you why I was buying this, but I'll tell you today. But why don't we just pile right into it? So we'll start with the simple one, the AirPods, because this is the one I care about least, probably the one you care about least. So let's just get it out of the way. When I was watching the announcements of these guys, I was thinking they were new, but they're not new. They're like actually over a year old, but they've added software, but they don't have the software yet, which is why I won't be reviewing them anytime soon. And you can tell they did this before they got into the reducing the packaging. Yeah, it's fairly reduced. These are my first AirPods, and they do not make it easy to figure out how to get them open. There we go. We'll get back to these, like I said, in a future video. Wait, there's more at the bottom down here. Oh, the little silicone tips to put onto the end. When I do my review, I will also be testing some third-party that Stephen Robles recommended. So we'll see how those go, but that's in a future video. We're done with these for now. Oh, and there's a little USB-C charging cable, because God knows I don't have enough of these. Okay, AirPods. Who cares? Let's move on to the next thing, which is the watch. Peel this off. Designed by Apple in California. And what's in here is the watch charging little puck, which I already have one of, but apparently this will also charge these. Or maybe that's just the fours. Yeah, we'll find out in a few weeks. And then we've got one little skimpy piece of paper. They're really getting better about this packaging nonsense. And then the cute little plastic case. I watched Brian Tong did this, and his flew across the room, so I'm being careful. There we go. Oh, that is pretty. That is very pretty. Very black. But what we really need is a band for it. And I happen to have one right here. And this opens along here. This actually looks more blue than the blue band I have on my Apple Watch Ultra. It's supposed to be black, but it clearly looks blue. Check that out. It's much smaller physically, but the screen is actually slightly larger. I mean, you saw, if you watched the video last week, it's like a pixel, but it's still bigger. I know I'm gonna have to pair it up. I'll do all that stuff. Let's keep moving. Let's get onto this bad boy. Oh, pretty. Yeah, minimal packaging. No stickers anymore. They were basically waste. Most people threw them away. So, I mean, I understand. If you're a sticker person, I'm sorry. But most of us were throwing them away, and it was just more waste. There is the 16 Pro Max. And there is the 15 Pro Max. And as you can see, this one's slightly taller and very slightly wider. And we got the white USB-C cable, USB-C to USB-C, which of course is, I already have plenty of those too. And there we go. Hello. Set up new iPhone. Hold the new phone up to the camera. Well, while that's going on, I have another iPhone to unbox. Now, why do I have a pink iPhone 16? So I've mentioned my friends Brian and Christina before on the channel. Well, Brian wanted the iPhone 15 Pro when I got the new 16 Pro, so I got that. So he's getting this one when I finish up. But Christina loves the color pink. And her current pink iPhone, which I believe is a 13, is starting to fritz, and she's having, one won't always scroll, and so she needs a new phone. But she's been too busy to do anything about it because she works for Firebird's Wood Fire Grill, and they're opening a new restaurant in South Haven, Mississippi next month. So she's been hiring and she's the general manager, and she's been doing all this stuff. So if you're in South Haven, Mississippi area in October, go try the new Firebirds in South Haven. Say hi to Christina and let her show you her new pink iPhone that I bought as a gift for her for all the hard work she's been doing. And because I know I'm going to get some free steaks out of the deal. You know how it goes. Okay, let's get this good guy going. Ooh, it's pink. It's very pink. It's like an iPhone, only smaller. Considerably smaller. Of course, I won't be setting this up because this is Christina's phone, so she needs to set it up with her phone. So I'm just going to put this back in the box for now. So I'm going to take a little break while this transfer is going on, and when the transfer is complete, I'll fool around with the phone, maybe take some test photos, some test video, and then I'll come back and talk about the features and my impressions of my new phone, which so far I like, but it's an iPhone. They're all the same.
2 hours later.
And I'm back. Well, that was exciting. I started to do the transfer, and I said, well, transfer everything from the old phone. And then it came up and said, time remaining 8 hours. And during those 8 hours, the phone was unusable. So I said, well, I'll just stop, and then I'll do it the old-fashioned way and get it from the iCloud. So I stopped, and it said, oh, well, since you're stopping, I'm going to erase this phone and reset it. So it did that, except now, remember, it had started, so my SIM had moved over to the new phone, but now it had erased the new phone. I went to T-Mobile's website. They said that my new phone was my phone, but I had no carrier. So I drove over to T-Mobile, and they said, oh, well, turns out I was waiting on a carrier update, and once the carrier update went through, then it started working. So don't necessarily freak out when it says it's erasing the phone and starting over, but freak out a little bit. But the one thing I wanted to try, which is why I didn't want to wait 8 hours, was I wanted to try out. So this is what I'm usually looking at. But I want to turn it around and get myself in the frame because I want to try out the new audio mix thing. So now that I've done that, I can stop the recording. You can see there's the little audio mix icon. So now I can play this back. Because I want to try out the new audio mix. Now this is the standard thing. Now I'm going to put it on in frame and back it up. But I want to turn it around and get myself in the frame because I want to try out the new audio mix thing. So now that I've done that, so apparently it works as advertised. That's kind of cool. And the camera button's pretty cool. I'm sorry, camera control. They refuse to call it a button. But on camera control, so you can zoom. I want to change what I'm doing. Okay, this thing is really finicky. I've got it on zoom, but I want to change it to like the f-stops. And you're supposed to like do a light double press, but nothing changes. Well, this feature isn't terribly impressive at all. I can't even get it to work. Now I can only get zoom. No matter how lightly or how hard I press or double press, it just stays on zoom. You can see it getting bigger. Well, I'll come back for the full review where I will either figure out how to do this or I will give it a bad review because I can't get it to do anything other than the zoom. I'm not going to review this phone anytime soon. For now, it's just this phone with a slightly better camera and the camera control button, which I haven't been able to get to work, as you just saw. But all the Apple Intelligence features aren't here yet. And the whole reason for these upgrades to get to the new phones is to get Apple Intelligence. Well, that doesn't ship until 18.1, and I think that's only the first phase, and that'll hopefully be in October, and then there'll be an 18.2, which will pick up some more of Apple Intelligence later in the year, and then apparently a third round, which may even roll into next year. So it could be January or February before I actually review this phone. Because right now, I will tell you, it's not any better than the phone I had. It's slightly bigger. The bezels are slightly, well, actually, the bezels are relatively smaller. The bezels are smaller and the screen is bigger. So it's a lot bigger. I can't really review it because most of the functionality for which it's designed is not in the phone, including the camera control, which, like the hold halfway down to focus and then, well, that feature's not there yet either. And as you saw, I couldn't even get any of the other features of the camera control to work. So now, I am an idiot, so that's probably my fault. But the people that buy iPhones, most of us are idiots. And we need it to just work. We don't need to have to figure out how exactly to press and hold and slide. Yeah. So that's the unboxings. Like I said, it wasn't terribly interesting, wasn't very exciting. I noticed when I was turning all the cameras off after the first part, when I went to update the phone, that I had not turned on this camera. So this lovely overhead view that you're seeing now, you were supposed to be watching during the unboxings. This is what happens when UPS comes at 6 o'clock. This phone is basically my old phone, only a little prettier, a little bigger, better screen. This watch, though, I'm really looking forward. It's so much thinner. I mean, look how much flatter that sits down. It's not half as thin, but it's close. And again, it's not as big this way, but the screen is actually bigger. So I'm a little disappointed in this band. But this Sport Loop, see, on the Ultra, it has this little extra tab, and here you don't get the little extra tab. That's it for today. A simple unboxing, kind of gone awry. We'll come back and review things later. The AirPods Pro 2s I will be reviewing after the hearing aid feature is released, which should be soon, because they said as soon as it was FDA approved, and it was FDA approved right after the announcement last week. So these should be working soon. The watch has everything in it it's supposed to, so I could review that anytime. But it's just the watch. The phone is the more interesting thing, except most of the features they use to market it aren't available. I don't want to review it because it'll get a lousy review because it was a lot of money to replace a phone that's virtually identical. For now, it'll be different in the future. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm going to go mess with all this stuff and try to get it all working, and I'll see you later. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.